Hi, my name is Steve Cain. I'm the Senior Wildlife Biologist at Grand Teton National Park. And we're here on what's locally known as Murie Ridge. Murie Ridge, it lies above the northern end of the Moose Wilson Road and the Moose Wilson corridor in the park. So, because of the convergence of habitats that we have here, and the extremely rich nature of them, the diversity and so on, we have large numbers of different species of wildlife that are constantly moving back and forth between the two. And for example, right here we have elk that move on a daily basis from the protection of the forested cover out into the better foraging within the grassland. We have black bears and grizzly bears that do the same thing. We have a wolf den within about 1.5 miles of this area, and wolves actually travel on this trail that I'm standing next to right now. It results in a diversity of wildlife uncommon around the globe, right here in Grand Teton National Park. It's also unique within the park itself because the habitat is so rich. That's why it's such an important destination to our visitors, and why it's big importance to the park to conserve this area and protect those wildlife and other resource values. Of course, with the extraordinary wildlife values comes some wildlife conservation and management challenges, and one of the most noticeable ones we have in this area stems from the fact that along the road corridor we have large amounts of hawthorn and to a lesser extent chokecherry, and these are shrubs that are berry producing, and every 2 to 3 years have large crops of edible berries that bears focus on. We're here along the Moose Wilson Road, just about 50 feet up from the road corridor. You might be able to hear some of the cars going by, but I wanted to point out here these hawthorn shrubs which line the entire north end of the corridor. These hawthorns are identified by the long thorns on the shrubs, and right here we can see berries ripening, and these berries attract bears every year, both black and grizzly bears, and the bears forage on these sometimes almost exclusively for a few weeks in the fall, usually beginning in September and going through October. When the bears are here, they get the low-lying fruit, and for the higher-lying fruit, they bend these branches down. Since 2008, however, we've had grizzly bears attracted to this area. As grizzly bears have recovered in the ecosystem and repopulated Grand Teton, they're now in the south end of the park. Starting in 2011, we actually had sows with cubs foraging on this resource, sometimes even standing on the road bed itself and bending branches down to eat these berries. And that's created a management challenge, how to manage the human-bear interface along a narrow winding road with low visibility. But again, it's indicative of the very high wildlife values and how it attracts animals, including nowadays grizzly bears. And again, the connection of these two habitats and the ability of animals to move between them is what attracts wildlife here, what makes for a tremendous visitor experience, and also, creates a really important need for the protection of this area and the park resources that live here.